Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, where we have a brick and mortar store in Tucson, Arizona. Also, oldpueblocoin.com. You can find us there. TucsonCoinshow.com as well. And today we have a very special guest I'd like you to meet. The $20 gold piece, Saint-Gaudens. And we've got his, hers, and ours here. Okay, so we just have two, so that actually doesn't make any sense, but you guys are used to that. For those of you who've been around a while, what we're going to do is take a closer look at these two pieces and just talk our way through what we're looking at here. And we'll start with the third side of the coin, and we're going to take a look around at the rim or the edge of the coin and keep going from there. I guess we will try to use proper vernacular, which is to say we will look at the edge here. And we're going to just start to look at a little bit difference in quality. And it'll be interesting to kind of see what you guys think on these. This is with a 10 power loop, so this is not super close. But you may notice I'm going to line up the lettering here just so we can go kind of letter for letter a little bit and see what we're looking at. Interesting, you know, the one on the right, things are actually fairly well faded out. I also want to take note of the fact that there's actually a slight color difference on these two coins. The coin on the right is a little bit more dim, and that's hard to tell from a distance. Up close, it actually showed up a little bit better. I'm actually going to get out my 20 power, and let's look at this lettering a little bit closer and see what we see here. You'll notice the coin on the left, the lettering is slightly thinner in general on almost every letter that you look at. The stars definitely look very different from one to the next. And then we just look at the difference on all those letters. The one on the right, the lettering is kind of faded and like worn down. Let's fast forward here to some of the stars. And you'll see also most of the stars are a little bit smaller on the coin on the left. I'm going to keep the coin on the left so that we don't get it confused too much as we look at these two coins. Next, we're going to look at the dates. I'm going to stay in, let's stay in 20 power mode here for a little bit. And we're going to take close looks here at, this is the coin on the left, the date 1924. Very strong. I think I might have too much light, but we'll take a look. We're going to keep looking closer at these two pieces. And it's harder to compare when you're looking at one date and then looking at the other as when you're looking at the side by side. So I'll try to walk you through what we're looking at here with these two pieces. The coin on the left weighs 0.1 gram heavier, but is very, very comparable in weight to the coin on the right, almost identical. The dimensions are good all around. This is interesting. What I want you to see on these two coins is actually, the first thing that I saw on these two coins is at a distance, I can tell that the coin on the left is a counterfeit. And it's really intriguing to me. This is just like your eye gets trained to certain things. And I want you to just kind of get used to looking at the difference between what a $20 gold piece looks like, how the light moves, and just how it looks versus these ones that are probably from Saudi Arabia, or pardon me, somewhere in the Middle East. I can't pinpoint it exactly, but most guys in the coin industry will tell you that you'll see a lot of these types of coins. They're from the Middle East, and it's actually a case of flattery, because usually the gold content is exactly right on these. And so it was an imitation, not to deceive for collectors' purposes. It was an imitation, generally speaking, to have coins circulate, or have coins that people would recognize and circulate. So I may change my lighting here in a minute. Let me take a closer look here at some of the other details in here where things will get a little bit washed out, and the fields will have almost a textured finish to them that you wouldn't expect. I'm going to focus in right now on, first of all, let's look at the L in Liberty. Kind of interesting to see that pin. If you look at the front part of the L where it comes back up, and what happens a lot of times on these types of counterfeits, there's that you can almost make out, by the way, that entire look of like a granular finish to it. But also what you'll see lots of times is where there are edges to things, detail gets kind of left out or washed out, or it disappears. Let's look at that same area here on the real coin and see once again just how the tip of that L doesn't look like it's floating separate. It looks like it's actually part of the L. Same thing with the hair. The hair continues to look like an actual part of the coin and design, whereas on the other coin, the hair at points just kind of almost disappears in the background. Look at it again from a distance, and you can see just what the hair does. So it's some of those lighter points where things really start to get, it almost disappears on the counterfeit coin. The term for this type of counterfeit, I believe, is spark erosion. So then what will happen is they'll try to smooth out the fields. You'll start getting a lot of little extra raised lines on the surface. This can be confusing, of course, if you're trying to understand all the little idiosyncrasies of coins, because there are other things that cause raised lines. And that's why lots of times you'll hear me talk about things of just like the look and the eye appeal and because it's sometimes hard to put into words exactly what the difference is between the counterfeit coin and the real coin. So, but the coins themselves, this type of coin, of course, it's going to trade just as a bullion piece, and it's not going to have any type of collector value to it. Let's look again at the reverse of these coins, and for me, the luster and the overall strike of the coin is wrong, and it's almost hard to explain just without being inside my brain, which, heaven help us if that happened. Seiler wouldn't even want to go there. So we'll look one more time closely here. We'll look closely at the eagle and some of the line structure that you see. And once again, I'm actually going to go ahead and let me try killing the lights here and see if that'll help me find the finish that I'm looking for to try to explain to you what I'm seeing on the field. So generally speaking, there's actually lots of things, the striking process, as much as they get the design right, all the different, whatever they do to make the metal and the strike, it ends up having a different finish to the coin. So you see how these have kind of a almost flat matte finish to them. And let's get the same point here on the coin that's real. The luster is simply different on the real coin. The other luster is just kind of subdued, and it does not really have the same depth. I'm trying to find the right terms. English isn't my first language here, so coins are. So I bet you thought I was going to say love is, but it's different. And we'll take another close look over here and see if I can grab some of the washed out areas on the coin and just show you again, like I did on the hair. Let's look here at just the way that the field interacts with the branches, right? Where the field meets the branches. What does that look like? Let's go 20 power, and then we're going to look at the real coin. And then we'll kind of just call it a day here. But I just want you to see here. Okay, here's what I'm seeing on the field. Let me get this. This is a good look. That look there you can't see on a real coin. So what it is that I was talking about that granular finish. You can really see it over the surface of this coin. And I don't mean the flat area. I mean the design area. So the arms and the leaves. And that's a very different look than you'll see on a real coin. Once you get it at the same angle, it won't have the same look to it. So, you know, everything about the way these things are struck up, the real coins, and once again, talking about looking at where the metal meets the design, the field meets the design, that's really one of the things that I think is intrinsically different about the coin. All right, guys, so if you have any like little pinpoint helpers, but I'm mostly on this video is just wanted to try to key on some of the visuals, because literally for me at a distance is the type of thing, if you've ever gone to a coin dealer and they look at a coin from distance and say that's not real, it's almost because it's easier to tell at a distance than it is up close. Thanks so much for watching today. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.